One has one purpose: to erase extreme poverty, specifically in Africa,
and to fight against preventable disease.
One is a campaign and advocacy organization with more than 2 million members committed to the fight against extreme poverty and preventable global disease, particularly in Africa. Co-founded by Bono and other campaigners, One works closely with African policymakers and activists.
At One, they achieve change through advocacy. They hold world leaders to account for the commitments they've made to fight extreme poverty, and they also press for better development policies, more effective aid, and trade reform. One also supports greater democracy, accountability, and transparency in how these resources are deployed.
One works closely with policy experts, African leaders, and anti-poverty activists to mobilize public opinion and support of tested and proven programs to fight poverty. At One, they believe the fight against poverty is not about charity. It is about justice and equality. In 2005, One pushed the G8 leaders to commit to delivering $21.5 billion in aid to Africa by 2010.
So far, they've given $7 billion of that total.
One is continuing to push the G8 to stick to their commitments. Dirty water and the lack of basic sanitation are holding back efforts to end extreme poverty and disease in Africa. 4,100 children die every day because of severe diarrhea. This is one child every 20 seconds. Secondly, women and children walk on average 5.6 kilometers a day to get water for their family, which causes girls to drop out of school. Also, the women and children have to carry roughly 44 pounds of water on their head in a jug or bucket, which is strenuous and hard labor. The reason their water is extremely polluted is because 90% of their sewage is discharged into the rivers. If there was access to clean drinking water and basic sanitation facilities, the lives of millions would be transformed, thousands of child deaths would be prevented, and healthcare costs would be reduced. The UN Convention on the Rights of a Child states in Article 27 that state parties recognize the right of every child to a standard of living adequate for the child's physical, mental, spiritual, moral, and social development. One is working towards making the standard of living better.
In Africa, 11,500 people die from HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria every day. Specifically in sub-Saharan Africa, AIDS starts to wipe out an entire generation. And in Uganda alone, 1.2 million children have been orphaned due to AIDS. It only costs $140 to buy a year's worth of treatment for someone living with HIV/AIDS in Africa. Since 2002, over 3.2 million people are now receiving HIV/AIDS treatment, but that still isn't enough. 1 million people die every year worldwide from malaria, and 90% of all those deaths occur in Africa. 1 in 5 childhood deaths in Africa are caused by malaria, and nets to protect these children and their families only cost $10. And last, tuberculosis causes 540,000 deaths every year. That means every single minute someone dies from TB. The issue of HIV/AIDS, TB, and malaria connects to Article 25 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Standard of Living. It says that everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the health and well-being of themselves and their family, including food, clothing, housing, medical care, and necessary social services, and the right to security in the event of unemployment, sickness, disability, widowhood, old age, or other circumstances beyond their control. Mothers and children are entitled to special care and assistance.
33 million primary school-age children in sub-Saharan Africa do not go to school. 18 million of these children are girls. Primary school enrollment in sub-African countries are among the lowest in the world. Sub-Saharan Africa also faces the most pressing need for teachers. 1.8 million teachers is needed to achieve primary universal education by 2015. Education not only provides a better quality of life for children, but it also provides survival to children. Educating a girl for 5 years could increase survival child rates by 40%. Lastly, if the child receives an education, an estimated 700,000 cases of HIV and AIDS could be prevented each year alone in Africa. Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states that everyone has the right to education. Education shall be free, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. Technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. That is why the G8 leaders set a goal to achieve universal primary education for all by 2015, making a commitment to provide technical know-how and providing extra funding needed to make this goal happen.
We need to push the G8 leaders to fulfill their promises. This is our generation, and this is our future.
We need to work together to get our voices heard to achieve a more just world.
Get involved by going to one.org and sign petitions to ensure the G8 leaders stick to their commitments. One world, one life.